It was just a few days ago where we talked about FaZe Clan and how much money they are hemorrhaging on esports, spending almost $800,000 every single month on just esports, which is kind of impressive that they figure out or have that much money to just burn every single month. But the FaZe drama continues to go on. And it all starts with this tweet right here from FaZe Clan saying, "We want more women in FaZe Clan." And you can see FaZe Rain's response here saying, "Spoiler alert, it's Grace. And the only reasoning I heard was because she was on one episode of Stranger Things." So obviously, this was before this announcement, and everyone's seeing this and, already kind of getting upset, right? Seeing that it's some sort of actress person who probably barely games or no one really knows for gaming isn't grinding to join FaZe, right? There's people that are actually doing that. And it was just a few days later, FaZe Clan announced introducing FaZe Blue Philly. I don't know how you actually say that, but it was Grace, and everyone wasn't too happy with this announcement, right? There was a lot of people saying you welcome and all the congrats and all the normal kinds of stuff, but there was a lot of people who weren't happy because obviously FaZe saying we want more women in FaZe Clan was kind of just a bait tweet. They were just putting that out there for impressions, knowing that they already signed Grace. So this was just kind of nothing, right? There's a lot of people who have been grinding and trying to get in FaZe for years who saw this tweet and said maybe there's a chance that they could get into FaZe, but it was actually just for impressions because they already had their woman to FaZe signed. And from all of the kind of, there's a lot of negative tweets and stuff saying that, FaZe Clan messed up for a lot of reasons, and one being that they didn't really recruit a gamer, they recruited an actress, and instead of finding someone who's been grinding who wants to be a part of FaZe, they just simply threw money at someone who they thought would bring them more brand awareness. You can see all of the responses that they tag here. And the FaZe OGs, Banks says, "You forgot our responses." And even Rain responds here saying, "Oh, those the ones you picked." And this is where everything kind of starts to unravel here between FaZe and Grace, this new recruit. He goes off a little bit on a video. He actually puts out a video talking about this kind of whole situation because she kind of responded to him in a stream. And at the end of this video, he does go a little rogue and maybe pushes the envelope just a little too far.
Oh, get fucking wrecked.
Oh my God. I just can't compete with that, man. I can't. She roasted me. It's over. Grace, I'm sorry. All I want to say is you're golden Valorant. You make Stranger Things your entire personality, even though you're only on one episode. You found out about Twitch through Tumblr. Not only have you not hit a trick shot, but you don't even know what the fuck that is. When you were still playing with Barbies, I made my first million out of this industry. And on top of it, you're excruciatingly mid who I would never let touch me on my drunkest night.
Get fucking wrecked.
So you can see from that FaZe at the end, like calling her mid and saying that, maybe going too far into this stuff. I don't really think it's that big of a deal, but all the other stuff was kind of normal things, right? Just kind of either beef that he has with either her, not being a real gamer, not knowing anything about FaZe, because the culture switch seems to be, instead of people joining FaZe, people are signing to FaZe, which is a pretty big shift. It's just one word, but no longer are people wanting to grind and join FaZe, and the goal is to be a part of FaZe. Now, the goal is to sign with FaZe to get money from them. So it's kind of changed up. And I don't think that anybody has, or any of these founders can like pass on blame, because at the end of the day, they sold their ownership. They sold the ability to control their company. They did get money for that. And they can say that this was stolen and all this stuff and bad deals and stuff. But at the end of the day, they made those bad deals. They sold the majority stake in the company. They handed over control. It doesn't matter if you made some bad deals. It's still on you. But that's not where all this ends. Grace actually responds to everything, saying from Rain calling her mid. And honestly, in this video, kind of makes herself look bad and are a little contradicting here.
The last thing you say, Rain, is that I'm mid and you wouldn't let me touch you on your drunkest night. That is a very classy joke, considering you were in the organization the same time as a man who is accused of sexually harassing multiple women when they are intoxicated. I stand with the woman, by the way. Where do you stand?
So I'm not sure why, this is a big point for her, because, I mean, Rain didn't do those things, right? I think she's talking about banks. It could be wrong. But also at the end where she says, I stand with the women, where do you stand? But she joined FaZe Clan. Like, that's a huge contradiction. You can't make this huge point and say, God, Rain, you were a part of this organization when this stuff was happening, but now she joined FaZe Clan and is getting paid, so it's okay now to join FaZe? Do you really feel that strongly about this, or are you just saying it for really nothing because you're a part of the organization now? You signed with them, so is it okay now because you're getting paid? Or do you just say that and not really mean it? And it only gets worse for Grace, who also continues to respond to Rain here, and basically, you know, bringing up him almost ODing, and like it's a very weird thing to bring up in like this kind of argument.
He says that I don't even know what a trick shot is. You're right, I don't. And I know that that's kind of what you're known for, but I know you, Rain, as the person who almost overdosed on a live stream. And I know that you're better now, and I'm really proud of you for that. I am.
So this response is a little weird, right? To bring up Rain almost ODing on a live stream in like some weird kind of petty argument. I mean, Rain calling her mid is not really equivalent to her being like, well, you almost died. Like, that's kind of weird, right? But also people were kind of pointing out, if you watch the video when she says, you know, you almost OD'd on stream, she's like smiling during that part, which is also kind of weird. You know, maybe it's just a reaction to that. I don't know, but it is kind of weird to see like her smiling while saying like you almost OD'd. It's a little weird. And she knows that it was a little weird and probably shouldn't have been saying that, because if you go to her Twitter profile now and her latest tweet, you can see that she is limiting who can reply to the tweets, and it doesn't even really stop because there's still people here talking about her saying that. So she probably knows that that really didn't make sense to bring into an argument. But at the end of the day, this big, huge problem that people have isn't with Grace herself. It's not like people aren't hating all over on her. Maybe some people are, but the majority of people are hating on the idea that FaZe Clan wanted to say that they wanted more women in FaZe Clan, but instead of going out and seeing a gamer and someone who's been grinding who wants to be a part of FaZe Clan, they simply just sign a celebrity. So that's not what FaZe has been in the past. It's been about bringing up talent and actually picking people who want to be a part of FaZe, who want to represent FaZe, and not just get paid from FaZe. That kind of culture really only exists in, I think, Optic. And now, like, people are really willing to join Optic, to represent Optic, to be a part of that. And you can see it with the Optic fandom. When somebody joins Optic, they get a huge rush of viewers and followers and support. And I think that's because Optic was able to do that and continue that kind of way of running their business. Now, Hex did the same thing that these FaZe founders did, is sold the majority share of Optic, lost control, and had a few years that he wasn't even part of the organization, but ultimately got it back, put it on the right track. So maybe we can see that play out with the FaZe OGs too, and the FaZe founders, that they can find a way to get controlling interest back and right this ship, or kind of bring everything back, but it might be too late for that. But that's gonna do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.